Okay, we're back up at the cabin, and this is the latest video. And I got the gang up here. Let me show you everybody. There's the boy. The sun came up.
What's up, everybody?
There's Jen
Hi.
and Brittany.
The favorite.
Yes, I brought one of my couches up. I got a couch now. Got a couch now at the cabin. Um, the latest topic has been smoke detectors. I have a wood burning stove, so I do have a smoke detector. Um, I have a fire extinguisher. I'm all set for fire. What I'm not set for is we have a propane stove over here. And I need something to detect um, explosive gases. And that's what LP is, propane gas. I go to Home Depot, I went to Lowe's, I went online, I looked everywhere. I can't find anything that detects gas. All right, so when I posted the question about explosive gas detector and looking for one like a smoke detector, something nice and simple, throw it up on the wall and it works, and I said I couldn't find any. Everybody said there was one. There is none, except for the one that I found here that was recommended by someone. That it's a combination. It's not just battery power. Um, it does a rechargeable 9 volt for backup, but you can use it as a power source. That's what the review on Amazon said. But then people came at me with like, oh, here's one, a $500 wand. I'm looking for something to put on the wall and alert me if there's a leak. I'm not a firefighter or anything going to a location with a wand searching for the source of explosive gas. So, and I'm not paying $500 for some of these things that people linked me to. I just didn't understand why people couldn't grasp what I was looking for, a simple detector. And so, as of right now, there is no battery operated only detector that you hang on your wall and it acts as a smoke detector. It'll alert you when there's a leak of propane. Yes, there are wands that are battery powered and stuff like that, but I'm not sleeping with a wand. you know, I just I couldn't grasp that. I got so many comments back, and I appreciate it, but I, I don't know. And the question is still out there. Why isn't there a battery operated explosive gas device? So I'll put this in, give it a try, and let you know how I make out. What you making over here?
Wedding soup.
What?
Italian wedding soup.
Italian wedding soup. Ooh, my goodness. What do you think, Justice? Okay, welcome to another episode of Liberty Creek. This is just an update. I try to get a video out at least once a month. You know, I'm kind of slow at doing the video thing. So we're up here now. It's almost Halloween. It's the like last week of October, and you know, since my last video, every time we come up, we might bring something. It's starting to feel more and more like home. Very cozy. I heard it many times in here. We had some friends up last weekend. We actually, first time I started setting up my shooting range down at the bottom, and it was fun. We had a lot of fun. It rained a lot, so I couldn't set it up exactly where I wanted to set it up, but I'm going to build a pretty nice shooting range down below. And I have steel targets for the future. I still got to make the stands for those. I'll pop up a video in the corner here. You'll see me shooting a little bit out the target I did. It's all safe. There's a gigantic berm in the back, or like just, you know, the landscape goes straight up. And where you see I'm firing, there's no way it could go up and above. And the people I usually shoot with could shoot very well. Jen did some shooting. She did good. All right, so we're up here this weekend. I'm going to go over some Q&A session because I've been getting some questions and answers, and there's just some things I'm going to put my 2 cents in. Since the last time you guys seen anything, I did bring up my couch. This is one of my couches from the man cave that back home. Now the man cave got one couch. I might get some maybe a lazy boy, or this may go back because I did order 2 lazy boys for the cabin, and they're coming in December. Okay, so December they're ordered, and that's thanks to Pops. Pops wanted a lazy boy, so he got a lazy boy. So that's coming. So we'll have to see how the lazy boys equal out with the couch, and then this might go back or not. We'll see. We'll see. So it's nice. This morning I woke up, it was like 30 degrees out, and it was chilly in the cabin because overnight the firebox ran out of wood to burn, and we were too lazy to get out of that warm bed to come fill it up. So this morning Jen went ahead and fired it up, and it's nice in here now. Justice and I already took our little walk outside, and she did her business. And yeah, Friday night when we got up here, we watched Young Frankenstein, and I had some pizza Jen made. I'll pop a picture up somewhere. Deep dish from the cast iron. It was delicious. And last night we watched Blazing Saddles. Great movies, funny. What else have we done? I think that's it, folks. We decorated a little bit. I think I already told you I got that corner cabinet. Someone threw away that corner cabinet and put it on the side of the road. My uncle called me and said, hey, you may be interested in this. And I drove over there and I took a look at it and I put it in the back of the truck, cleaned it up. The thing is great. I don't know why someone would try to get rid of that. That's a nice piece of furniture, especially for a cabin. I hung up my American flag. I built this, I don't know, 10 years ago. No, maybe not 10, but I built that. That used to hang at home. Now we have a different one hanging at home. I think that's about it. That's about it. Anything else? Just little odds and ends. Got a place to put our keys. This is pretty cool because we always had our keys everywhere, but it's like it's a magnet. Pretty cool. So the keys go there now. I started putting this backsplash in the back of the stove here to keep the wall clean. This stuff's really nice. I got to finish it to run. Insulation's all done. I think you already saw all that. The next thing I'll be doing. Oh, I did this. I did the all the molding around the door frames and that door frame too. I think we're getting down to the nitty gritty. I got to finish some tongue and groove up top. I have to probably work on the bathrooms next. The bathrooms still, the walls are not done. I'll probably bring up some tongue and groove. No, I'm going to bring up shiplap for the bathroom. It's cheaper, it's easier. I'm going to do the shiplap, probably the wider planks. I'm going to put that up in the bathroom. That'll probably only be a day project. I could throw that stuff up quick. Everything else is done in the bathroom. I have to trim out the window in the bathroom. Let's take a look real quick. Let's see. Alright, this is the only part of the cabinet that's not really done. As you can see, I'm gonna have to pull the electrical box out just a little bit so I could get the shiplap behind there. And shiplap the walls. I'm gonna put shiplap on the ceiling. I have to get the door for the closet. That's it. The bath, folks, this is the shower. The shower works great. Like I said, we heat our water in the buckets. Is it coming? Mm-hmm. All right, we heat our water in the buckets. This here goes in the bucket, and you turn on the pump, and the water comes out here. Okay. Yeah, that work. It's been working great. This thing, big issue with that. Burnt out the motor already. I used it first time for like 5 minutes, defective. I don't know what the issue is, but the motor burnt out and like being on for 5 minutes. I never really used it before, more than like, just see if it worked, to test it. But the other day, I was in here, I said, oh, let me kick this on. And turned it on, and I just heard it go quiet. And this is a very, very cheap. I bet you that's the cheapest one you could buy because everything needs this is 2x4 construction, and they don't make fans for 2x4 construction. And the ones that they do are very cheap. I think that thing cost me $13. Okay, no light. So now I went ahead and I looked. They got 3 more for 2x4 construction. They all look the same to me. They all look like they're cheap, but they go from like $15 to 30 something dollars to $60. No light. But then there's a light kit you could get for another $30. So I don't know if I'm gonna just get the $30 one and the $30 light kit, because I do need some more light over here. Even when this is going to be up, the showers is dark. So I'll probably be getting some type of light kit, or if I could find a more expensive one with everything together for 2x4 construction, I'll buy that. But that's another headache. So, yep. Let's see. I think that's it for in here. I finished the ceiling in here. We still need a little trim. I need a little trim around this over here. But the bedroom's great. The bedroom holds heat. Yeah, bedroom's great. This is almost all done. I still need to do trim right around the door, and that's it. Who knows? I'll get to that someday. But that's about it. It's great. Q&A, some questions and answers. So basically, I receive some questions on my Facebook page or the YouTube comments or some of the groups I belong to on Facebook. They say there's no such thing as a dumb question. That is incorrect, okay? There are some dumb questions. I read them every day, and let me go through a couple. I do receive some questions that people are interested in is like, what kind of gear do I use for safety when I'm using my chainsaw? There's a lot of videos out there that people don't use any type of safety. I would recommend against that. And as I started doing more tree work, I went ahead and bought some more safety gear. My main thing is my helmet. My helmet's got a protector, a face shield on it. It's either a shield or just a screen mesh. I could change them out. I also have hearing protection. That's very important. And if you've been cutting trees for a while and you shut off the motor, people try to talk to you and you can't hear them too well, that's because you're not wearing your ear protection. Put your ear protection on. It makes a world of difference. Even when I'm cutting the grass on my zero turn, if I have ear protection in, it makes a world of difference when I shut the zero turn. I also bought myself some of those chaps. They have Kevlar in them, and they will stop the chain from spinning if you whack yourself in the leg. I don't recommend whacking yourself in the leg, but what happens is if you did hit yourself in the leg, it will rip off a piece of the material, bring it up and jam the actual bar. And that's how it works. All right, here's a question that I kind of scratch my head about. People will ask questions like, who has ever built on raw land before? Well, why? What is the actual question? Or, I am 45, divorced with 2 children. I want to go live off grid. You think I should? No detail at all in that question either. Like, you got to give us something. Is it better to buy land or to build on raw land? Or to buy something that is already established? So those questions right there, folks, they're missing a lot of information. If you want me, if I don't know you personally, and you ask me these questions, well, I need to know a couple things. You're divorced, you have 2 kids. Do your kids want to go live off grid? Are they little? Are they teenagers? They probably will hate you if you take them out of their high school and go ahead and plop them, 7 states over. I don't know your situation. Are you looking to build? Are you have money that you have an unlimited cash flow that you could just go buy something and the kids will be happy and you're living off grid? I don't know. So there's a lot of things you have to let us know. Like, Do you need a job? Can you move anywhere? Do you have money? Those are the most important things on any of those questions. Is it better to buy something established already? It depends what you personally are looking for. If you're looking for, 50 acres and the place that you can't find it, but the place that's established only has 5 acres, would that be good enough for you? Never lived off grid before, and now you're looking for a place. There's all these missing. It drives me nuts is people will, the first person to respond to that post, say, listen, it's up to the individual. We got to know your criteria. We need to know more information about this. They don't. They entertain it. They go ahead and give them their opinion on the matter from their perspective, not knowing anything about the person that's asking. Okay. I love it when all the smart asses just go, oh, well, it's up to you, but go grab a tent, go live in the forest for a while. You're off grid. Tell me how you like it with your 2 kids. That is the answer. It's stupid, but so is the question. You need more information. I had a question about what do I use for my Wi-Fi, internet, cell service out here. Now, I'm off the beaten path. We have no internet service on my street at all, okay? I am on a main street. It's paved, it's maintained, it's plowed because it is a school route for the bus. It's a bus route, so they take care of my street pretty well. I'm off the street into the woods here. There is no internet, okay? When I first came up here, I was using Verizon. I can't make a call, I can't receive a call, I can't get any internet access at all. Dead. So I invested and purchased into a Wi-Fi extender to receive phone calls or to make phone calls. So I bought this device. It cost me over $200. I actually built on from it, from the original box, bought a better antenna, and I got one extra bar on my phone, and I still was not able to make or receive phone calls, and no internet at all. Now it is a portable device, so I was able to put it in my truck, but still, even in the truck, not worth the money at all. Totally, what it says it does and what it does is two different things. Now it did work for some people. It had a lot of great reviews. This was like the Wii Boost that you put into the cradle, and it didn't work for me. I bought a better antenna for the system. It just didn't work. Some people have the Wii Boost that they could hook it up in their house and it broadcasts the Wi-Fi. But like I said, my carrier, the Wi-Fi strength is so weak. It's even with the boost, it's so weak out here. So I asked around. I have my closest neighbor, and they said where I'm located, AT&T is the carrier to have. So I went out. I bought myself it's right here actually, a pay-as-you-go phone monthly, no contracts. I get 1 gig of data a month, unlimited text, unlimited phone calls. I come out here, and it works. And what kills me though is it doesn't have the best signal. I sit over there, I can't get no internet. I sit right here, I get great internet. It's the weirdest thing. Outside, it's pretty good. How do I shower? Very easily. I still do the same in the off-grid cabin as I did in my RV. I actually do not have any water plumbed into the cabin. I don't have a well. There is a stream. It's a little far away from the cabin to have pumped from the stream. I did experiment with a ram pump. I didn't have time to mess with that this year because I've been working on the cabin. Next year, I want to get a water catchment system to grab all the rainwater off the roof and store it into barrels, and then from there, the barrels will be pumped into the lines of the cabin and pressurize the system. And then I would like to get a hot water on demand off of propane hot water heater. Okay, so that's the plans for next year, or hopefully next year. But as of right now, I still do what I always do. I bring up 7-gallon jugs of water every time I come up. Into winter, I won't leave them up here because they may freeze and crack. And then if it had a warm day, I come back and the whole place is flooded. So what I do is I bring up what I need for how many people will be up here, how many days I'll be up here. I have about 6 of them, and then I also have a bunch of those Poland Spring, like the water cooler jugs in the shed, and I'll fill all that stuff up and I'll bring it up to the cabin when I come up. And then from there, I put one of the jugs on the countertop to wash dishes, and I have other jugs to actually go ahead and fill up, like one of those big pots for the stove. I heat it on the stove, I bring it into the shower, I have one of those pumps, I drop the pump in, and I'm able to take a 3-minute shower. And that's how we shower at the cabin at this time. Stay tuned next year, hopefully we'll upgrade the system. All right, now here's one of those questions that got me scratching my head every time I see it. And I've seen it a couple times over the last couple of years is, how many cords of wood does it take to heat my home? Right there. Like, come on, do you just want to participate? Do you just want to throw a question out there? We need more information. Every house is different. The insulation of the house, the wood burning stove, the size, what it says it could heat. Do you live in a 200 square foot cabin or a 1,500 square foot cabin? These things we need to know with your very vague questions. Give us more detail, and we should be able to help you out. Insulating your floor is another question. Everyone talks about it. Oh, what do you use? What do you use? I used the bubble foil. There are people out there that swear this stuff doesn't work, the R value shit, this and that and this and that, and they go on their rants how it doesn't work. Then there's people out there that swear by it. It works perfect, 100%. I know everybody knows the boss of the swamp. Everybody watches his videos more than they watch mine, and they know he swears by this stuff. I did the same thing the boss did. I put it down, and so far I don't have any problems walking around on this floor. And another thing is your crawl space. If you have a basement on your cabin or however you make the foundation, if you close that in, and it'll retain the heat and be better for you as well. At this time, my cabin is not closed in. Okay, eventually I'll get there. It takes time. Still working on it. So you want to close in. You want to skirt that bottom of your cabin, and the bubble foil seems like it works fine for the boss. If you go to his channel and look at some of those videos, you'll see him opening up the bottom of his cabin, and he's way up there in New Hampshire. It is cold up there. The ground is rock hard frozen. He could swing open that little door from the skirt of his cabin and just hit it with a shovel, and he could shovel that stuff. Right outside, it's ice. So whatever. You don't want to believe it, you don't have to believe it. Do whatever you want to do, okay? But this is what I've done. That's what the boss done. That's what thousands of other people have done, and it saves time, money. And one of the things that I like the most is I hear so many stories about people putting insulation or the chicken wire underneath, and the mice get in there and they make all their homes, and you got mice throughout the entire bottom of your cabin, and then it brings them in. So far, knock on wood, our cabin is mice free. And I think a lot of that has to do is you don't draw them to your structure. All right. So another question is electricity. Where do you get your electricity? Well, to be honest with you, I am totally off grid, 100%. But there is a telephone pole that has electricity at the end of my driveway. Now, the driveway's quite far from the cabin, but I'm sure I could bring in electricity if I wanted to. I don't know how much it would cost me or the permits and all that stuff. How do you get it switched over? I don't know. Don't care. I am not trying to catch any bills, a monthly bill at this time. I'm not trying to catch any bills from my off-grid cabin, okay? So I don't want a $20 electricity bill or a $7 electricity bill. I don't want no electricity bill, even though I am running off a generator right now. And I understand the generator takes gas, and I probably spend more money than gas than I would on my electricity bill. Depends on how long I stay up here. A weekend, usually I probably go through 2.5 gallons in the generator. I run the generator at night for a couple hours and a couple hours in the morning, and that's it. And I have 3 different generators. It depends which generator I'm running. I got one at home now. I bring one, my little one, for backup, and I have the Champion runs it now because it's a remote start and I don't have to go out there. But it eats gas. The Honda's the best, but it doesn't have the remote start. But I bring it up just in case the Champion gives me problems. So that's how I run it. I wired it all myself. I have an electrical panel. The plug plugs into the side, just like an RV. The plug plugs into the side of the cabin, goes to the generator, plugs into the generator, and it produces electricity through the cabin. And I have a video, go back and look at my videos. I have a video of me wiring the cabin, and it shows you the breaker panel and everything like that. Next year, I hope, I got so much going on, I hope to get solar. Solar would be great for the cabin. The way I got it wired, I'm not going to be able to run it straight DC. I'm sure I could do a couple lights on the outside, stuff like that, but my main thing is for solar is going to run it through the inverter and run it right to the box and supply all the lines I already have in the cabin with electricity from the batteries. And another question that always drives me nuts when people do ask, can I just build something on my piece of land I buy? Do I need permits? Do I need this? Can I do this? And then people will answer them. I answer with what I done and what I can do for where I'm located. And you should not be asking a general question like that on any part of the internet, okay? First thing I would recommend you to do is if you live in East Bumble, go to East Bumble's website, look under the proper fields, and see what they have there for building permits. That's what I did. I went, I read up everything on their website. They had some PDFs, and this is a very small town. They had PDFs on there. I went through it all. I read it all. I read their, you could download and fill out all the permit requests and things like that, and I did. And then what I did is I reached out. There was a number. There's a woman's name. I reached out. I called her. I talked to her on the phone. She said we could do everything through emails. I have any questions or call her. So I started reaching out to her through our emails, and we had it going back and forth. And I got my permit. My permit cost me $100. You know, I asked about inspections. I asked about everything. And what I could do here, and in the future, if I could add on, if I can get electricity, if I could get a well, if I can get septic. I asked all these questions so I didn't have no problems, no issues. Basically, wherever you're located, especially if you're way out, when you're far away, there's a lot less paperwork, and you could do a lot more without supervision. Okay, so you could pull the permit, you could do a lot of stuff, you could do all your own work, but where I'm at, there's 2 things that is done by the books, is the well and the septic. Those 2 things are state run and not local, and you need to go through the state for that type of thing. And usually if you're going to get a septic system, you call the guys that do septic, they come out here, they plan it out, they say, okay, this is what's going to happen, then they do everything for you. You just got to pay them. Pay. That's the name of the game. And do it correctly, because I've heard horror stories. I've talked to this one guy. He bought a piece of property like me. It was across some little river, and he had to go through the river, and he brought all his stuff through the river, and he started to build a cabin. He built this little cabin on the other side, and then some neighbors saw, and they started complaining and this and that, and then he got some letter said, you know, rip it down, you're going to get fined like $200 a day. So guess what? He had to go rip down his little shack in the woods because of some nosy neighbor and him not following the policies and procedures of building in that area of his county, of the town, of the state. He's not following it. So do yourself a favor, save a headache, get your permits, understand before you even buy property what is allowed in that area. Some things, you know, if you change a light bulb, they need to have a crew come out and make sure that you're doing it correctly. So if that type of stuff is not for you, and you don't want to hire everybody, you want to do everything yourself, find out where you're, call, ask questions before you get involved in something to build that's such a headache and it's not what you were looking for. Okay? So that's the end of my questions and answers section. um, Justice is bored. She's just knocked out over there. She's one eye open looking at me.